Next up, we head to Lake Pepin in Red Wing, Minnesota. Lake Pepin is a section of the Mississippi River well known for its giant walleyes, and today is no exception. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by Great Lakes Finesse and Yamaha Outboards. There's one. Look at that. That's one of those easy ones too. We're gonna get to not have to clear this inside, huh? Tell you what, fishing today down at Lake Pepin, Mississippi River, Red Wing, Minnesota. Man, one of my favorite places to tournament fish back in the day, and I'm lucky enough today to get to fish with Dan Chesky Jr. from Dan Southside Marine in Bloomington and Brian Delorier. Brian's a guide down here on the river, and I'll tell you what, he's worked with Dan for several years now on pro staff boats. We're gonna get after some walleyes today. That one is a walleye. That one's gonna be the first one to find a home in the live well, is what this one is. Look at that, huh? That's how you like to start, right there. That one's gonna make it home for dinner. Look at that. Man, that's one thing I've always said about these fish down here, is they are so chunky and so strong. I mean, look at that. That's a great walleye anywhere you go, and man, that's gonna be a good eater. But I'll tell you what, we're gonna talk a little bit today about how to catch them in various rivers throughout the Midwest. So we're gonna show you a little bit of some tips and tricks and techniques that are gonna help you catch more fish. Brian's an expert down here. He's going to be able to explain some of that too. And you know what? We're just going to have a good time and reel fishing all day. So here we go. We're off and running. We might have a fish on that one. Dan, you want to hand me that rod?
Yeah, there's definitely some weight on it. It could be a weed.
Sure.
Sometimes when you're running planer boards, John, what we see is if you come across a chunk of weeds that catch the toe arm, that's a fish on that one for sure.
That's a fish on that one. Danny, why don't you grab that one? In fact, go ahead and bring that one in. This just made our life easier.
You did.
And we're gonna switch. You come right underneath me, Danny. Here we go, a little bit of chaos. I'm gonna let you and Brian deal with that fish, and then we'll just drag this one for a bit. You know, that's the other thing that'll happen right here. And you know what just happened here? Brian put a mark down, because here's the deal. Coming across fish that are just flat out biting, and you get on a school of them, and you wanna be able to do what we're doing here. Just be on them, turn right back around, go right back over them, because certain areas, ooh, nice one, Danny.
That's a good fish, Danny.
Good fish. I'll let you guys deal with that. This is good chaos right here.
Right here.
Hang on to that fish.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, nice fish, buddy. That's good stuff. We got another one on here. If one of you guys can get to that planer board.
Yeah, I got her. And that was that blue chrome again, John.
That lure is definitely firing. One of the things I'll tell you, oh, weeds on this one. I'll tell you what, you know, one of the things that is just so important is understanding exactly what's happening as far as what fish are biting. And Brian said right there, he said, man, that was that blue chrome again. So a couple things I'll share with you that are already starting to show themselves as a pattern this morning. This right here is the brand new Bandit Walleye shad, okay? This is the number 3 size. This has a casting system in it. So you can actually cast this bait where it's harder to cast those other baits. This one will cast a mile. But number 2 is this is a suspending bait. So anytime we stall the boat out on a troll, this bait's not gonna float away from a following fish. It's gonna just stop. And that's a trigger point for a lot of fish when they're following a bait. But the other thing I'll tell you is over on this side of the boat, we're running Bandit Walleye Deeps. We haven't been touched on that side yet. Not only do we maybe have a color thing going on, where all of a sudden we're realizing that blue chrome is really getting hit and we're catching fish on it, but the other thing is we got a profile thing going. So what's gonna happen here is if we keep this up on this side of the boat, I'll pretty well bet you that Brian's gonna switch everything out on his side of the boat to this new Walleye shad bait. I'll tell you what, that right there, that's just a fish catcher. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Holy smokes. Just going through if you saw the cluster that we have right now, we made a turn, got some weeds on some stuff, and what happens, sometimes it just takes away the ability for that crankbait to run. You know, it's interesting, we were just talking about gunnel rods and how every now and then they get you a bonus fish. And this is another great example, great walleye. Another great example, big fish, giant fish.
Monster.
So I'm gonna share something with you. I'm gonna tell you what I said just a minute ago to these guys. We were talking about tournament situations and I made the comment that I always run a gunnel rod, and a lot of times, like Brian said, you don't catch as many fish on that gunnel rod. There's times though that gunnel rod gets you your biggest fish of the day. It's a bonus fish. Danny, I'm gonna give you your fish here. There you go. Got him?
I got
Look
it.
at that big girl.
That is a nice fish.
That is good stuff.
Yeah.
Giant fish.
Going back
But
in
man,
the
that
tank.
gunnel rod, yeah, you go ahead and let her go. Beautiful fish, buddy.
Oh, man.
But let me tell you, that gunnel rod, it hasn't caught a ton of fish today. We've gotten a couple. I think that might be the second or third. It hasn't been nearly as productive as our board rods, but let me tell you what it is. It's the rod right now that just caught the biggest fish of the day. Tell you what, more and more, and today's a great example, we all have a lot of money into crankbaits. And one of the worst things that you can do is take a crankbait out of the water and throw it right back in your tray, because you're throwing a wet crankbait in there and that's how you end up with rust. One of the things though that's gonna help you out a lot is a Flambeau tray with the built-in Z-Rust system. And what that is it's a 5-year guarantee that it's gonna fight corrosion. So I could put wet crankbaits back in here and I'm gonna trust that my hooks aren't gonna be rusted next time. Then one other thing I'm gonna show you, this is a Flambeau tote. This is really cool. When I'm in my truck in the morning deciding what I'm gonna use for cranks, I just take the trays and I drop them right in this tote. Pretty cool product from Flambeau.
Oh, John,
There we go.
this board just got smacked.
Look at that.
There's a lot of weight here.
I think I might have one on over here too.
One on too.
Let's deal with this one though, because I think this one's a pretty good one. Let's get that over there. Okay. Ooh, a lot of junk in the water here, isn't there?
There's a lot of that.
I can feel them pumping back
Oh, yeah.
there. One of the most important things though about running these planer boards, that planer board catches so much of the weeds that are floating on top. Big walleye. There you go. That's a big river walleye. Look at that fish. Man, that's a good one. That is a giant. Danny, let's start on this one. Look at that
we
fish. Beautiful big walleye. Pop that clicker. Here we go. Look
Johnny, I'm gonna
at
get this
that.
guy back in the water right away.
And while we're dealing with all this, we got a double. Now that's all just weeds. I'll tell you what, when you get that many weeds on a line, you think it's a fish.
Oh, sure.
Dynamite fish, man.
Every time.
Great job. That's a nice fish no matter where you go. And I'll tell you what, fish like that one, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's not as many places left that don't have slots where you can go catch such a variety of fish as you can on the Mississippi River. And I'm talking all the way from pool 3, you know, up into even pool 2, and then all the way down the Mississippi. I'll tell you what, wherever you're fishing today, it just so happens to be Lake Pepin, you have this chance at a giant fish. And I'll tell you what, that right there, that's just something else. Hey, before we go today, I want to take just a minute and I want to have Dan tell you just a little bit about Dan Southside Marine. Because I'll tell you what, everything you see in this boat, those boys can build for you right there.
So John, for your viewers that don't know anything about Dan Southside Marine, we're a 53-year-old second generation family dealership. We specialize in outboard motors. We sell Suzuki outboards, Yamaha outboards, and Honda outboards. Those power our boat brands, Alumacraft, which we're fishing in today, and then we carry 2 pontoon lines, Premier Pontoons and Avalon Pontoons. If you don't know Dan's, we're in Bloomington. We're right off of 35W. Come on into our showroom and see our dealership. It's 25,000 square feet of parts, accessories, boats, pontoons. Everybody there at the dealership has been doing this for better side at 25 years. So we're all very, very experienced at it.
Well, there you go. Stop down and see the guys at Dan Southside Marine. They get you all set up with your next boat. Make sure to check back next week. We're going to have another great episode of Jon Thelen's Destination Fish. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish has been brought to you by these great sponsors: